Recently, there's been a bit of a trend of Linux YouTubers making videos about cryptocurrency, whether that be Luke Smith, Mental Outlaw, Chris Titus, or a couple of people out there. And this isn't me calling them out. If that's what they want to do and they think that's the best videos they can make and what their audience is actually enjoying, more power to them. Make whatever videos you want to make. But what I want to talk about today is recently I've had a couple of people ask me to do the exact same thing. Most recently, someone asked me to do a video on Million Token. But I've had requests for other topics as well, things like Bitcoin, various altcoins, NFTs, or really anything else you can name with crypto. I probably had at least one person ask me to do a video on that. And I take crypto donations, I use Brave, I use the Odyssey video platform, which is a crypto-based video platform. So obviously I have some level of interest in cryptocurrencies, but why am I not making videos about them? One of the big reasons is to do with disclosure. So we can talk in circles about whether cryptocurrency is money or an investment, and I don't think it really matters on the individual perspective how this is actually defined. Different regions and different countries define this legally differently, along with the laws regarding how you should be disclosing stuff if you're in a position where you can actually influence the purchasing decisions of other people. And both YouTube's TOS and Australian law, from what I understand, is fairly unclear around how to actually handle crypto. But I think from a moral perspective, if I was going to talk about the merits or if I was going to trash a project, I need to disclose whether I actually own anything in that project. If I was going to say, for example, Cardano is a great project, I would have to disclose that I do actually own some of that coin. I think even if I had owned it in the past, it still makes sense to disclose it because having sold the coin in the past might still bias the opinion I actually have on it. And I think ensuring you know my biases is incredibly important, and not just with investments, but when it comes to things like video games or operating systems or really anything else out there. If the person isn't willing to say whether they actually have some stake in this, I don't think you should be taking anything they say seriously. And while I'm more than happy to disclose my channel finances, if you want to know how much I make on Patreon, the number is public. If you want to know how much I make on Odyssey, check the LBC blockchain. Even on YouTube, if you want to know about my YouTube AdSense, just ask me and I will tell you the number. But when it comes to my personal finances and my personal investments, I don't think you really need to know my full finances, and I don't want my investments to be seen as investment advice. Let's say, for example, that I owned, I don't know, what's something dumb, 100,000 Dogecoin. I don't want that to be seen as endorsing the project. But then there are projects that you probably shouldn't own any of that everyone knows is allegedly a scam. Things like Save the Kids or Million Token, which I've been following the videos of from people like CoffeeZilla and Mudaha. And I know people have asked me to do videos on these projects, but one thing you will realize if you watch any of those videos is they put in a lot of work just for a single video. I don't mean like, oh, they put in like maybe 3 or 4 hours for a single video. No, like tens of hours just for a single 15, 20-minute video. And I think the only way to properly do a topic like that justice is to do as much, if not even more work, to uncover more information. If all I am doing is basically taking the information from CoffeeZilla and Mudaha and just regurgitating that information without really adding anything to it, I don't really think there's any value in me actually doing that. Sure, it does certainly get the word out there and make it so more people know about this actually happening, but besides that, I don't think there's really any reason to make videos like that. And that's ignoring the fact that things like blockchain analysis is mind-numbingly boring. Even doing things like my personal finances, I don't want to be doing that. That just puts me to sleep. That's not the sort of stuff that I really want to spend my time actually doing. Or trying to get in contact with the people involved with the project. Even getting just help from general subscribers, I don't really think that's that fun of a thing for me to be doing. And I don't think that being in that mindset while preparing a video is going to make a good video. Plus, the crypto world is full of countless alleged scams, with new ones popping up every single day, with new influencers trying to destroy their entire career to make a quick extra buck. I don't want to turn this entire channel into a crypto channel. That's not the direction I want to take this going into the future. Now, another big thing is when it comes to what I actually know. So I hold some crypto and I buy a bit here and there, and for personal use, I feel like I know enough where I can make an informed decision about what I actually want to do. But when it comes to actually teaching someone else about, doesn't have to be crypto, about really any topic out there, I think really the only way to do that justice is to make sure you have a fairly in-depth knowledge about that thing. And I don't think that I really know enough to be teaching anyone else about this topic. And I know that I make mistakes when I talk about various Linuxy things or various tech things. If I'm doing like a news topic, maybe I'll get something wrong. But I don't think that making a mistake revolving around technology is really as big of a deal as potentially someone losing thousands of dollars. I think if I make a little mistake about a project, you can sort of like move on with the rest of your day and not really have that be something to actually worry about. But I can't say the same thing about crypto. And I did start this channel back when I knew almost nothing about Linux, so I absolutely could spend my time digging deep into these projects and trying to actually come to a good understanding about how they actually work, what the problems with them are, what the advantages are, why you should be using this one over some other project. But I really just don't find that as interesting as reading about other topics that I already cover on this channel. I find it way more interesting to look into like various projects' terms of service and their licenses and the way they interact with their users, as opposed to looking at things like white papers and price charts and crypto analysis. I just don't find that stuff very interesting. I'm sure I am one of the very few people who has ever said they enjoy reading things like terms of service. Maybe I'm weird, but that's just the way I like approaching my content. Now, it's not like I have never done crypto videos in the past, or I'm just never going to do them in the future. So I have done some. I've done videos on things like the Odyssey video platform, and back when it was just called Library. And when you talk about those projects, it's very, very difficult not to at least briefly mention the LBC token. I've done videos on the Brave browser and have had to mention Brave ads. And when you talk about Brave ads, you obviously have to bring up the attention token. And at some point, Brave Search is probably going to integrate with that as well, so I have to mention that there as well. I've talked about Signal in the past, back when they were trying to partner with MobileCoin, and I'm sure there are others that I completely forgot about. It's just that if I was you, I wouldn't be expecting a crypto video a week or a crypto video, twice a week or anything like that. That just is not going to happen anytime soon unless there is some really, really interesting topic that really catches my attention. For example, let's say the Audacity team went completely insane and were like, yeah, let's integrate it with a crypto coin or something. Like, if that happened, sure, I would cover that, but I don't expect that to happen. Please don't prove me wrong in that respect. But one last thing is that I really don't think you should be paying attention to YouTubers as a way to get investment advice. Sure, there are certainly YouTubers out there that actually do know what they're talking about, but the vast majority of them are just basically regurgitating information they've heard from someone else and not really putting any extra thought into what they're saying. If the person doesn't actually have some level of, accounting experience, or doesn't have some level actually maintaining a fairly large investment portfolio, I don't think there's really any reason to be taking what that person says seriously about anything related to crypto. Now, it's a bit different if we're just talking about crypto news and things like that, or doing the analysis of the technical side, but even then, most people out there don't actually have the required knowledge to do that well. From what I've seen, people like Mental Outlaw actually are doing it fairly well, but that same can't be said about a lot of other people out there. There's plenty more Linux, licensing, programming, or just general tech topics out there, and I don't expect to be running out of content anytime soon. Maybe if that does happen one day, we can shift over to crypto and I can just make a bunch of videos saying every project is going to the moon and just rake in the views. I don't find that fun to do, and I would probably drive myself crazy if I was doing daily videos like that. But if something does catch my eye, or if there is some interesting project on a technical standpoint you guys do want me to talk about, do still let me know about it, and I'll decide on, I guess, a case-by-case basis. So that's going to be it for me, and if you like this video and you want to support the channel and become one of these amazing people over here, please go check out my Patreon subscribe style Liberapay, linked in the description down below. I've got a podcast called Tech Over Tea, available basically anywhere. I've got a gaming channel called Brodie Robertson Plays, where I live stream twice a week, upload about 5 or so YouTube shorts, and then this channel is also available over on Odyssey. That's going to be it for me, and I'm out.